And I'm not exaggerating.
This right here.
Oh, I missed. Oh, count it. What the? Ooh, baby, they a mood killer.
My beauty, my style, self-growth, my way.
What's up, love? Welcome or welcome back to the channel. If this is your very first time, my name is Toni. It'd be something about this Skinny Pop. That light salt. It's the light salt. As y'all can see, we eating Skinny Pop today and doing makeup because I just wanted to turn my camera on. So yeah, if y'all have been here, then y'all know I do not get on this camera without having my notes right here on the side. I always have my notes because I'm a rambler. When this mouth gets a going, it won't stop. I am doing something a little bit different today because I have just been feeling like, you know what? Whenever something comes on my brain, I just need to film it. Like, regardless of if I've got it all mapped out and got all my key talking points, that is my approach on most of my videos, yes. But right now, I'm just in a season where I'm just like, you know what? If there is something that I want to talk about, I'm just gonna get on, turn the camera on, and do it. Hey! Who's beating on the door like that? Chill out. I'm recording. My bad, y'all. That's what happens when you got kids and you be trying to record in your bedroom because it's the only space that you got in the house because you ain't got nowhere else to record. Your downstairs got stuff all over the place. You haven't bought a light bulb for it. So yeah, I'm in my bedroom and they just gonna have to be quiet. Anyway, we are going to talk about self-sabotage today because I feel like that is something that everybody can relate to. At some point in your life, you were too afraid to do whatever it is that you're doing. You might be doing it now. Or maybe you still plopped on your couch watching reruns of, Martin or something, and you still not executing your plans. I was in that season for a long time, and I feel like I'm just now breaking free from that. First of all, before we get too far in depth about the whole self-sabotage thing, let's talk about getting over laziness. Laziness is the enemy, especially when you know that there's something that you want to accomplish and you have all of these goals in your mind and all this stuff that you want to do, but you don't yet know your approach or how you're going to do it, how you've got it mapped out. It's just kind of ideas in your head. But a lot of people literally just stop at that. It's just an idea that they have. It's a great idea. It could be $1 million idea for all you know, but that idea, well, it'll sit and it'll brew and it'll fester in your mind. And then before you know it, you haven't worked up enough courage to even start it. Or maybe you have worked up enough courage, but then you find yourself in this situation where you just start to lose all motivation and then this laziness sets in. Do y'all know? This is real embarrassing, okay? So don't judge me. My son got me hooked on this Netflix show, Cobra Kai. First of all, this is definitely not a kid's show because it'd be a lot going on for them high school students. It'd be a lot going on. But anyway, I got into one of my lazy moods, and I can always tell when I have a lazy mood because I find myself binge watching shows. When I say I binge watch all 5 of those seasons in a matter of like 2-3 days, and I'm not exaggerating. That is how I know that I am entering into a lazy season. So first and foremost, you have to catch the laziness as it approaches. You need to sit down and really ask yourself, what are your triggers? Because everybody has a trigger that kind of onsets that laziness. Come on, you have got to be kidding me. I just need a little bit of squirt. I don't even watch TV. I don't watch TV because for me and me personally, I feel like if I sit and watch TV too long, that it is a waste of time. And like, this is how I think about TV. I'm watching somebody else who has accomplished their goal. They're sitting back, relaxing. They done got paid, they vacationing. And I'm sitting down doing nothing, watching them do their job and watching them succeed at their goals. That's how my mind operates. I literally think like that when I watch TV. And the fact that I just sat and watched a TV show for that amount of time had me concerned. So I had to shake the lazy feeling. Laziness is something that it just happens, y'all. Like, it's not something that you can block. You might have a little, you know, a little lazy attack. I don't know what else to call it. You have to just kind of catch those moments when they approach so that it doesn't get you all the way down. If you have, you know, a day or two of laziness, okay. Like, everybody got a day or two where they're just like, man, I just don't really feel like doing anything. I would rather relax, and that is perfectly fine. But I just say, if you've noticed that, like, you've got days where you've lost motivation, days where you just find yourself, you know, cooped up on the couch and you don't really want to do anything, then you definitely need to sit down and figure out what your triggers are, because clearly you are being triggered by something that has caused you to feel like you want to go into a lazy shell. Just like with my YouTube channel, I think I just talked about this briefly on my last video, but I kind of struggle with my YouTube sometimes, because that's what I was saying. I lost my train of thought a second ago. Expectations. Let's touch on that. Expectations are, whoo, baby, they're a mood killer. Because if you have really high expectations and your expectations aren't being met, so my example, my YouTube channel, I'm trying all of this different stuff. Popcorn break. I'm trying all this different stuff. I'm trying to throw everything I can to stick it at the wall. Like, what can I do to, you know, further me along, grow my platform and quit my 9 to 5, because ultimately that's the goal. I have these high expectations, and then every time I drop a video, I kind of get the same attitude. I start off real good and I'm like, you know, think positive. You know, it might not do well when it first comes out. That's okay. But then a couple days goes by, I got like 30 views and stuff like that. And then I get irritated. And then I'm like, ugh, I just don't even want to do it. But then I'm like, okay, you can't give up on yourself, so keep going. And then I do another video. And then I kind of keep putting myself through this same cycle. That is one of the reasons why I am doing this video, because I feel like when you just act in the moment, you don't allow yourself to have any excuses. You don't allow yourself to have the potential of being lazy. Like I said, every video that I do, every video that I've done probably for the last 6 months, I've always had some kind of notes. I've always had, you know, something to keep me guided so that I'm not rambling. I always have, like I said, my notes and things to keep me on track. And today I was just like, you know what? No excuses, no laziness. We're going to get up and we're just going to start turning on the camera. As long as I turn this camera on, and as long as I am committed to showing up for myself, regardless of how the outcome looks right now, I'm showing up for myself, and that's all that matters. And sometimes that is the biggest thing, is literally just showing up for yourself. That's all you have to do. God doggone flies, golly. Do y'all kids leave the back door open? It's so irritating. They done let like 16 flies in my house. Ugh. Anyway, but moving on to the topic of self-sabotage, and I just wanted to touch on laziness for a brief second, because like I said, I feel like self-sabotage is kind of one of the things that is triggered by laziness. I feel like laziness can start to put you in a certain kind of mind frame. You begin to lose motivation, and then all of this other stuff starts to set in until ultimately you begin self-sabotaging yourself to the point where you are just intentionally doing things that will not allow you to become successful. That's my whole reason for giving that example, is because, again, with me, I had all of these high expectations that I've placed on myself, and then as soon as those expectations don't go through, I feel like I let myself down, and then self-sabotage begins. And that's really, honestly, it's excuses. All of it is excuses. And you have to get to a point where you figure out like, I'm just going to choose to do differently. I'm going to choose to continue to show up every single day regardless. Why have you allowed yourself to go so far long without starting whatever it is that you want to do? I've spoken before a lot of times. That's why I don't want to keep using the same examples, but it's just on the top of my brain. Like, it's just right there. With my YouTube channel, y'all, I let my camera sit for years. I let my equipment sit for years. I just didn't take it seriously, even though I know that I'm really good at it. I still caught it. I know I'm really good at it. And I know that content is always something that I wanted to create. However, that was at a point in my life where I had not yet accepted putting myself out there. You know, when you put yourself out there, you are literally putting yourself out there to be judged. Okay, you are putting yourself out there to be judged, and judgment is cruel sometimes. Like, even with this video, somebody might look at this video and be like, she trying too damn hard, I don't like her personality, she's too much. And honey, you can have whatever opinion you want. But this is just me. I've always been a goofy person. I've always kind of just had a very, I don't know, I just have a really good sense of humor, and I like to laugh at life. That's just who I am. But even with this video, somebody can judge this. So you have to think, back then, even though I was the same goofy person and I, you know, same attitude, same vibe or whatever, I was at a place in my life where I didn't yet accept, you know, like judgment and being judged by others. Because like I said, that is a whole different ball game, especially when you decide to live your life on social media. You have to have some extremely thick skin. I couldn't have imagined me waiting any longer than I did, because if I would have waited any longer than I did, and mind y'all, I've been at this now for like a year and a half. If I would have waited any longer, I wouldn't have done it at all. And then I would have went through life with the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Oh, I shoulda did this, and I shoulda, coulda, woulda did that, and I shoulda bought a Honda. Okay. And that is a Cat Williams reference off of his stand-up. I am not referencing speaking in tongues, so let me just clarify myself right now. You get to, you know, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, and you're like, dang, what if I just would have done that one thing when I was 25, 27, 37? What if I would have done that one thing? How would my life have changed? And coming from somebody who was always scared to do stuff, I was scared to go to the school of my dreams. I was scared to go out of town. I was scared to do all these different things. I finally got to a point where I said, enough self-sabotaging. I'm not going to hold myself back anymore. It could be the one thing that changes your life. I'm like, you know, let me just do it. I never would have got there unless I did one thing. And that one thing is self-acceptance. You can put yourself in front of a million billion people. Okay? You can put yourself in front of however many people. It won't matter. But the only way that you can do that is if you have accepted yourself. If you have not accepted yourself, honey, you will never, ever have enough confidence to put yourself out there, whether publicly or whether you're trying to get that promotion at your job and you don't have enough courage to put that application in, or you don't have enough courage to go to your supervisor and say, you know, I'm interested in this position and I want to be considered, and here's why. You, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay? What are you doing? I feel like I'm rambling again, but I feel like I'm making connections here too. I'm connecting the dots. But anyway, I just, you know, like I said, if you don't accept your, matter of fact, put it like this. Nobody is going to go to bat for you harder than you will. Nobody else in this world is going to go as hard for you as you do. I don't even care if you got a manager, okay? I don't care if you got a manager right now for your career or whatever it is. Nobody is going to go as hard for you as you do. And the only way that you can go hard for yourself, honey, is if you accept yourself. Accept all your quirks, all your flaws, or what you think are flaws, because honestly, what you think are flaws are probably your greatest attributes. Did I say that right? I think I did. Your greatest attributions. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, Those are your greatest qualities. There we go. Let's just say qualities. Self-sabotage, really and truly, is just a mindset. It's you over processing all of the different aspects of your life until you finally are just at a point where you're like, oh my gosh, I just can't even take it no more. And that's the point that we have to get away from. Like, you have to get away from those thoughts and feelings about yourself, because if you don't, then you'll never know what your true capabilities are. It's some of y'all sitting at home watching this video wishing that y'all had a YouTube channel or that y'all could do content creation, because let's be honest, baby, the content creation field and influencer marketing is the shit. The money is good, and I ain't even made a whole lot yet, but I'm gonna get there. Well, I ain't even made a whole lot yet, but the money that I have made on the side as a side hustle, baby, okay. I know it's a lot of y'all at home right now, like, dang, you know, I wish I could do that. Like, how do I get started? Let me tell you something. Anything that you do in this life, you are not going to know the process. And that literally applies to everything. You will never, ever know the full process to anything that you do. The only thing that you can do is just go with the motions. You will learn along the way. Do you think a CEO of a large company knows how to be a CEO when they start off? Do you think they know what all of that entails? No. Everything in life you have to figure out as you go along. There is no rule book to none of it. When they say all you got to do is decide to get started, that's literally all you have to do. Oh, Big Daddy's home. Oh, we got to hurry up. My man is home. My man. If you don't do nothing else in your life, you have to tell yourself that you are willing. And I actually got that from a book, okay? I got that from a book. Matter of fact, I'm about to just pause real quick while this is highlighting my under eye. And I'm about to talk about this book real quick. This right here. When I say I have nothing but great things to say about this book. One of the chapters in this book is called I Am Willing. First of all, the book itself is giving me so much perspective. That's first and foremost, it's giving me so much perspective. But on top of that, it literally is helping me change my life. And one of the chapters that really helped me do that is this chapter called I Am Willing. I am willing and I am unwilling work both ways. It's all in how your perspective is and what resonates best with you. So for me, one of the things is I am unwilling to stay the size that I am right now. I have struggled with weight gain over the past 3 years. My bestest body was about 163 pounds. I was like a size 8. I was about 163 and looking good. Baby, when I say body, the body was bodying, okay? I had booty. I had hips. Baby, I got them childbearing hips, okay? I got 3 kids. I got them childbearing hips. So when I say my body was just good, I was healthy. I was vegan back then. And I still don't eat meat till this day. I mean, well, I eat fish, but some people consider fish a meat. I don't consider fish meat. I consider it fish, even though I know it's meat, but whatever. I eat fish. I went back to eating fish. But nonetheless, I'm saying all that to say, back then, I was my best self. I was healthy. I was my best self. So since then, and like definitely part of the reason was COVID. I gained weight just like a lot of other people in the world gain weight, okay? I gained weight and I have not taken it off since then. But on top of that, part of me not losing weight was kind of a self-sabotage thing, because I'm like in my mind, well, you know, I'll just stay this way. It is what it is. You know, and it was almost making me feel comfortable with being in that state of mind. And I wasn't comfortable. I was not comfortable. And I felt like damn near like a slave in my own mind, because I'm like, this this is not who I am. This is not who I am. This is not who I'm trying to be. This is not the size that I'm trying to be. Like, no, we need to get this, you know, together. But even though I was thinking that in my head, I still kept doing the same things because it was by habit. It was comfort. Like, how many of us have had comfort food? Well, I was eating comfort food every day. I was, you know, making up all of these excuses. Oh, I'll just work out next week. I'll change my eating later on. And then I just kept gaining and I kept gaining and I kept gaining. I had to get to a point where I just was like, enough is enough. And one of the reasons why I got to that point was because of that book. When I read that chapter and it said, I am unwilling. And it said, you know, write down all the things you are willing or you are not willing to do. And so I made my list. I'm not willing to stay this size. And this is something recent. So I'm giving y'all self-sabotage examples from recently because I just recently started my weight loss journey again about 2 weeks ago and I'm already down 10 pounds. So I say that to say, get that book. First and foremost, have to be able to determine when you're going to stop making excuses for yourself. You're making excuses right now. And that's what we're not going to do. That was my whole reason for turning on this video and getting on here unprepared, no notes, straight off the dome, because we needed to discuss all of the ways that we need to just recognize self-sabotage, recognize those triggers like laziness and a lack of motivation, losing all of your focus, losing your organization. All of those are triggers, okay? All of them are triggers. It's just how are you being triggered that you need to figure out. Y'all, 1 second. I need to set my eyes because I ain't about to, wait, what? But I can't set creases and top. Y'all see how big my under eyes are? Like, it's because I got high cheekbones. Hold on. Y'all, I went ahead and just finished out my face because honestly, I didn't have much else to do anyway. I just kept it simple and cute. Honestly, I'm about to play in some PR on TikTok, so that's why I didn't even put on a lipstick. But I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I didn't want to keep it super long anyway. I just wanted to really get y'all to do a self-reflection, okay? Do a self-reflection. Everybody has goals. Everybody got goals and aspirations and dreams, and all of those are fully attainable. Nothing is out of reach, and that's what I'm learning more and more in life is nothing is out of reach. You just have to be willing. Just like I was telling y'all about that book. I gave you the book. Now it's up to you to go buy it because it will really help you out. And like I said, this is just me, not sponsored. Like, I really enjoy that book, but that's why I mentioned that in this video, because you have to be willing to change your circumstances. You have to be willing to get up and keep going in spite of, no matter whether you got laziness on you, that unmotivated feeling on you, you have to be able to shake it all to be able to get rid of those self-sabotaging thoughts, okay? Thank you guys so much for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you guys for clicking on today's video. If you have been here before, then you already know, but if you have not, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below, baby, and also make sure that you are hitting that notification bell as well so y'all can see when the videos are going up on my channel. Don't pay attention to my nubs because I have to get my nails done. Y'all have a good night. Love y'all. Bye.